Good morning. Um, it's kind of nippy out here in Los Angeles. Um, I'm looking at the television. I'm looking at all the protests and the demonstrations, and I'm glad that we're facing some social issues, some things that have been around for a long time. Uh, I've been here a long time, so I have the opportunity to look at history and figure out what happened before in the late 60s, in the 70s. Gosh, that thing in 92 or the Rodney King thing, let me get to the point. The point is, there are a lot of things wrong with the system, a lot of things right with it. I'd rather be here in America than in some other country. And maybe I say that because I live here. I don't know how it is in those other countries. Uh, Probably less discrimination in those other countries, as far as I can see on TV when I look at Rick Steves when he's visiting all those countries in Europe and everywhere. But the jazz musicians that I know, I used to play a little music, and most musicians I know that went overseas, they love it. Copenhagen, uh, but they're treated better over there. But you got to keep sight of what you're doing here. Um, you could you could give a PayPal account to the family of George Floyd, all the other guys um, that have been injured, the ones who you know about. Like I said, I have many arrests in Los Angeles. Not a lot of convictions, just arrests, which indicates that the police were overdoing their job. I was in the ghetto and in some bad areas, and I was in some bad areas because I wanted to be. I was trying to hustle, which is a result of me not making enough money, not getting the kind of job that I was suited for. I should be making who knows what, $1 million a year. I'm saying that because guys with those kind of jobs are um, or beneath my capabilities and my understanding of those kinds of jobs, but I've never had the opportunity. And so anyway, let me cut to the chase here. The what we really need, what the country needs to do to in the pursuit of justice is number one, that affirmative action. That is the biggest. That thing we had that, and that was okay in the late '60s, '70s. Most of the black people that I knew, the reasonably intelligent ones, they went to school. We were so happy that we could finally go to school and without paying the enormous tuition because we didn't have money. Our parents didn't make a lot of money. They lucky as hell if they had a house. Uh, they were doing fine. They were considered upper middle class if they had an apartment for 10 years, let alone buying a house, a home. So, but that's what they got to do now if they want to straighten things out. Kick back. Some white kid went to the Supreme Court and argued that white kids were being discriminated against because they were not privy to having their tuition and college costs reduced because they didn't have indigent parents. I don't even need to go any further with that statement. That is the craziest thing. That seems more racist than Jesus Christ. But anyway, we blacks need to be able to go to school. You put something on the table and then you push the table away so we can't reach the food, and we're still going to be hungry. Um, everything points to people being successful, having a college education. If we can't get a college education, that stops us in our tracks. The college education, the opportunity to get decent and high paying jobs. That's what we need. That's what would decrease the injustice. If a lot of black folks made money, they'd buy homes in good areas, or they would fix up their area, but they would mingle like little kids. You take some little kids, 4 or 5 years old, and put them in a school. You could put a kids black, white, green, yellow, orange, speaking 20 different languages. Those kids would